8 minutes we got left before we chat. Grab your coffee, find your seat. Cowbells are ringing, that's our cue. Gonna share our thoughts with you. Laugh and gossip, spit in tea. Little secrets between you and me. Countdown ticking, let's get real. Heart to heart, it's how we feel. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all those tears. Snap a pic of what we wear. Brush our hair, let down our care. Conversations never lie in this moment with you and I. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears.
Morning, y'all. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds before Girl Talk starts, so you have just enough time to grab yourself a cup of coffee and get in a comfy seat. We'll see you soon.
Catch Girl Talks every day. Follow socials, here's the way.
GURLTAUX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams. Scrolling through your daily memes. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Lights moving through the screen. Click subscribe, don't be me. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's Girl Talk, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day we're on our way. show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about.
Walking down this road tonight, talking about the things we fight.
Oh shit. They can't hear anything we're saying because I forgot to unmute it.
Oh, God.
Hey, how are you tonight? How's it going tonight?
It's good.
See,
It's
that's the
good.
hard part about when you have a board like this because we can hear each other in our
Mhm.
headset, so we think it's airing, and we're still muted because this has the capability of talking to each other. So, hello, hey, how are you this evening? At least I don't
Good.
have to say good morning again.
Yeah,
It-
true.
it is
It's
nighttime.
nighttime.
So, how about them bears? And by bears, I mean Trump and Vance. They were a couple bears
wow.
in the
Yes.
White House.
That's wild.
It feels, and I know the left is probably going ballistic, but I'm just going to say our show tonight is not about politics, but we'll do like just a real quick couple minutes on how good it honestly truly feels to have somebody powerful and strong with strength in the White House that is going to stand up to, in my opinion, Zelensky is a dictator. He is not trying to bring peace, and he's not going to win a war. So stop, come to the table.
Right.
And I like that Trump is like, if you want more from us, we have to get a return on our investment. And anyone liberal that's, I stand with Ukraine and he was a bully and what? Yeah, okay. But we need somebody who's strong enough to stand up to these type of people. We have to have somebody that has some balls. And during that meeting, I know you didn't watch it. I watched it. You've heard some pieces and
bits
parts of it.
pieces.
But at whatever point it was, he's like, no, that was the other guy.
Yeah.
Like, I am not that pushover that's gonna just take it and give you whatever you want.
Mhm.
Not to mention, in my personal opinion, just gonna say to y'all out there, my personal opinion, I think part of it was he don't have nothing on Trump like he had on Biden, because Biden did whatever he wanted, and it sure appeared like, you better do what I want, or I'm gonna let your little secrets out. Because who was it that Biden said, if you don't fire this prosecutor, you aren't gonna get the $1 billion
Mhm.
when he was vice president?
Exactly.
And then when he did it, he's like, see, there it was. I don't remember the.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But I remember him saying live, see? And then guess what happened? The prosecutor was fired and he got his $1 billion. That's called quid pro quo, which, if I recall, let me think for a second. We're not supposed to do that, right? I think that we're not. So there's that.
Crazy.
Anyway, we're going to start out today with our Dear Margaret. And then the rest of our show is we're going to talk a little bit on the economy, but we're only going to talk one side of the economy, and that is eggs. Eggs. Eggs, chickens. Eggs, chickens. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Because that is a thing that there are a lot of people suddenly on social media saying, I'm going to go get chickens. And the reason why we're going to talk about that is because, one, Kimberly, I would say, is my resident expert on chickens. She has chickens. Right now, she has approximately 40, 50 chickens, has had over 100 before. So she knows an awful lot about it. And I am getting chickens. So we will talk about the do's, don'ts, and the whys and why nots of getting chickens.
Yeah.
So to start with, though, we are going to do our Dear Margaret. And let's see. Of course, it doesn't even have... We can't air this stupid song because I don't know where it is. So I will deal with that song thing later that I made for it. So in the meantime, we will not play the song. So that's okay because we have hopefully we can get through these fairly quickly. I did maybe Steve, you can be my timer, or I guess I could put a timer on my phone. I lost my timer. It was somewhere here on the desk. I don't know if I knocked it down somewhere or what. I'll look for it, but I'm going to put a timer on the clock that for each one of these ones we have 5 minutes to answer. Rather than us, because otherwise we end up going long and just in the weeds for the question. So I'll start the timer once we read the question. All right. So let me get to that here. And just in the weeds for the question. So I'll start the timer once we read. Oh, I was like, what is that? Oh, it's I thought I was airing something and I was like, oh, wait. Okay. So I have a wedding coming up of a close friend. I feel I should have been asked to be at least a bridesmaid because I have known her for longer than any of her other friends. She says I am her best friend all the time, even in front of other people. I think it is because I am a larger woman, 300 plus, and the dresses they have chosen are very tiny and revealing. I want to ask her point blank, but I don't want to lose my friendship or be uninvited. Oh, and I was there to help her choose her dress and bridesmaid dresses. What should I do? Signed, too big for the dress. Okay. I'm going to start our timer. We got 5 minutes. I'm going to give my 2 cents worth. Then you give your 2 cents worth, and then maybe we'll have a little talk out about it. I am a bigger woman. I'm not over 300 pounds, but I would have to say there's a chance she's also trying to protect your feelings, that stuffing you into a tiny revealing dress that everyone else is in might be embarrassing for you, or maybe she has something else she wants you to do. And maybe don't take it personal, because it might not be personal and she might actually be trying to protect your feelings. And if you guys really are truly that close of friends, do just go talk to her. Like, I'm not the person that would keep my peace and not say anything in fear of losing the friendship, because I look at it like, if you're really my friend, you're going to listen to what I have to say. She may not have asked you to be her maid of honor yet. She may be waiting for something. You don't know what the reasons are, and you're not going to know if you don't ask. And I've always said, you can't fix something if you don't know it's broken. So you may have something where she's trying to protect your feelings and you don't care. Like, I'm willing to wear that dress. I can put a shawl over, or they have a larger size, but maybe she's just protecting you. And if you just talk to her, maybe she's just going to say, oh, I didn't even think, I thought it would bother you. There you go. Your 2 cents worth.
I mean, I don't have anything really to add to that, just because, yeah, like, ask.
Yeah,
Like,
just
speak up. And if it's for some bullshit reason, then,
well, and if
like, you have
she's gonna
to,
end a friendship with you over you asking,
yeah,
"Did you
then,
not ask me
right.
to be a bridesmaid because I'm fat?" Or and I hate that the F word is bad. Like, if you're fat, own that you're fat. Like, it's okay to say the fat word. Like, I say I'm fat because I am. Yeah. And you can fat and fluffy can be intermixed. Whatever. But you are what you are. If you're skinny, it's okay to say skinny.
Mhm.
Why is it not okay for a fat person to say they're fat? And what my irritation with that is more than anything else is correcting other people's speech. Like,
Mhm.
if I want to say I'm fat and I'm not offended by it,
Yeah.
then you don't need to be
Yeah.
offended. Back to don't police my thoughts and my words.
Right.
If I'm not offended by it, then don't be
You
offended for me.
shouldn't be, right.
And I'm also not, and I do very much believe in if you can say it about yourself, then you can't really get too offended if somebody
Mhm.
says it to you or about you.
Mhm.
Like, ho, she's fat, not ho, oh, she's fat,
Mhm.
you know. Then you've already opened that door.
Mhm.
So if that's the reason, if she really is not putting you in her wedding because you're fat, you might want to think about that friendship.
Well, for sure.
You know, because
Yeah.
if that's her actual reason. Now, if her reason is I didn't want to embarrass you, it was the dress the other girls chose. Or hey, I was waiting cuz I kind of wanted you. Maybe she has a maid of honor that's her sister or something, and I've seen women that have chosen a maid of honor and a co-maid of honor.
Mhm.
You know, because they want their sister but they also
Mhm.
want their best friend. Maybe she's going to ask you to be the co-maid of honor with her sister or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't make
Yeah.
assumptions. And that's where, remember, don't assume makes an ass out of you and me. But if you just plain ask her, if you're too worried about not going to the wedding, but you're not participating in it, then you're just saving the money on a gift. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, we did it. We did that in 5 minutes. Very good. Hey, if we can get through these in a proper timing, I'm going to feel much better about it. Okay, next one. Let's see here. Oh, this one's dogs. Okay. Dear Margaret, I have dogs and I have a couple we like to invite over for a game night. They asked me to put up the dogs because the wife is afraid of all dogs. However, ours are not aggressive and are well-trained golden retrievers. They primarily lay on the floor. They don't jump up. They don't beg for food. They are very good. I don't think I should have to put my dogs away, my in caps, dogs away. What should I do? Signed, Dog Mom. I'm going to let you start this one and then I'll chime in.
You need to put your dogs away.
I like not even adding anything
end.
to the end. Okay,
And the reason being because when somebody's afraid of animals, that's a different fear.
yeah.
And it's because they're not human. They're a different creature, and usually those people are super unfamiliar with body language, action, barking,
And dogs do
and
respond to your
they feel that fear,
emotion that you
and
put out.
that anxious energy is so, like, you also emit pheromones from your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
When your feelings change, you emit different pheromones from your mouth. That's why dogs try to jump on people and smell their faces,
Mm-hmm.
because they're trying to see where you stand.
Yeah.
But
Are you going to pet my butt or kick my butt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fear comes out of, like, a fear is a strong pheromone, and it comes out of all of your pores. And so
and dogs do
they
respond to
pick
it.
up
Even
on
really
that,
good dogs can
so
respond to that.
yeah,
And you
they
could
don't
cause a dog fight
appreciate
within
it.
their own
Mhm.
dogs. Okay.
And so I think, I mean, your dogs are going to be fine locked in the bedroom, laying on your bed for a couple hours
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not going to kill
they're
them.
dogs. They're not people. their
Well,
dogs.
and my 2 cents worth in that too is you're inviting them over as your guest in your home. I would assume you want to make your guests in your home comfortable.
Mhm.
If
And
you're
provide
that adamant that your dog shouldn't have to get locked up, then maybe suggest that game nights at their house from
Mhm.
now on. Because they
Mhm.
if she's terrified of dogs, she's probably doesn't have them.
She probably doesn't want to come over either,
She
really.
probably
She's
doesn't
just
have them at
she's
her house.
patronizing and
You know?
in her own right too. Like
Yeah.
she's patronizing to socialize.
Yeah, like she's
So
coming to your house.
that's not really a power struggle situation, in my opinion. It's like if somebody's afraid, put the dogs away.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's okay. Like you're not going to traumatize anybody in that respect or
Well, I put
in that scenario. But if you let the dogs out and it's like, well, figure it out, girl. If you want to play bingo, you're going to have to.
Yeah. Well,
You
I mean,
know?
like I put my dogs away now. Granted, I do have one dog that he is kind of scary. You know, he really is kind of scary. He's all talk. But the first time, I mean, you're a serious dog mom, so you understand it. But like the first time you heard him, he sounds
It sounds-
aggressive.
mhm.
He sounds scary. He sounds like he's gonna come and take your throat out. And he means no harm. Like the worst thing he's gonna do is turn around and back his truck up to you and scratch my butt, please. But for somebody who was scared of dogs, he would really scare them. He would terrify
Absolutely.
them. Absolutely
Yep.
terrify them. So I look at it like, you know, yes, it's your home. Yes, you don't have to like change your whole life for somebody,
Mhm.
but you're also inviting guests over.
Mhm.
When we invite guests over, everyone knows we have dogs, and our dogs are friendly once you're here and everything. But I don't let them out if we're playing games and there's a multitude of people, just out of respect for my dogs too.
Mhm.
Like that's a lot for them to
Mhm.
deal with. So sometimes they would probably just prefer it if you just let me in your bedroom and let me just go lay on your bed.
Throw some dog TV on YouTube.
Throw
Turn
some
the
dog
volume
TV
up
on.
so it kind of drowns out the noise out there,
Absolutely.
and they're not even going to worry
And just
about
call
it.
it a day,
Yeah.
and the dogs aren't even going to care.
No.
They're not going to be like writing a letter to the
Man, so they're sitting out there right now, and they left us with this freaking toilet water while they're out there drinking freaking bubbly water. Like, I'm gonna call my lawyer.
What are those ads out there every now and
I
then?
saw a meme, and it was like,
I have a complaint. It's been 4 minutes since
It's
I've
like-
eaten. You know, like they're
or my owner's 4 minutes late on feeding me.
I am. This might be my last entry. I might be dead tomorrow. It's been 1 minute past the time I was supposed to eat. I'm supposed to eat at 7, and it's 7:01.
And I'm
I
withering
feel
away.
I'm going to perish. Yeah, I mean, so the dog's not going to
Yeah.
file a complaint.
No.
So with that. End of that question. Okay, next question. Hey, we're doing pretty good. If we stick to this kind of thing, we can get through them. This one, oh, mother-in-law. Oh, that's already scary.
Mm.
I don't know. Do I even want to read this one? I should make you read it. Okay, dear Margaret, my mother-in-law comes to visit. You know, at the end of these things, we do need to just say, I don't really care, Margaret.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of it. I don't really care, Margaret. Okay. Dear Margaret, I forgot to change it to the right one here. Oh, well. Dear Margaret, my mother-in-law comes to visit all the time. I spend days prepping the house to make it perfect, including putting fresh flowers in the guest room. I always have a small little gift for her on the bed to greet her and a card saying we are so glad she is here. Okay. When here, she proceeds to rearrange my kitchen, linen closets, pantries, and complains about everything I do. She's also a slob. Her guest room always looks like a tornado comes through it, and the entire visit is a disaster. And and through it and the entire visit during the entire visit. Okay. I think that's what she meant. And it's a disaster when she leaves. Yet she tells me how the tub isn't clean enough or the counters have a film she can feel. Really, just anything she can think of. Most of her snide comments are when we are alone or when my husband is at work, and she stays as long as she wants, regardless of our schedule. We have been married for 11 years now. What should I do? Signed, Mom in law is starting to stink. Well, I'm just going to say my 2 piece worth here is all guests are like fish. After 3 days, they start to smell. So you need to set boundaries. That's what you need to do. You need to set some boundaries, and those boundaries most likely need to be set by your husband. It's his mother. You're his wife. He should defend you, but he's probably the one that needs to set those boundaries and say, hey, Mom, we love you coming. We want you to be here, but you just can't move in for a month whenever you feel like it, or 3 weeks or a week or whatever her time frame is, because that's what it sounds like. She'll come and she'll stay. She probably stays till she's tired of the daughter-in-law, and then she's like, I'm going home.
Probably.
And she's probably lonely. So she's probably wanting to spend time with her son and his wife. And she probably doesn't know it. I'm assuming based on this conversation here, we don't know all the information, but if they've been married for 11 years, she didn't say she's been doing this for 11 years, but the likelihood of her coming and staying a longer period of time might be because her husband has passed away. So when she comes, she's coming for a bit longer periods of time. So you still have to set those boundaries. And if you feel like she's going to correct some things, you can simply say, hey, I don't know if you call her Mom or what you call her, but hey, Mom, I'm going to be working on cleaning some things today. Would you like to help me clean the counters or clean the, bring her into the cleaning aspect and give her a set of those chores, because then she really can't bitch about how well they're clean because she's the one that did it. And you can simply go into her room and say, hey, I tidied up your room while I was putting laundry away, or I was putting towels away. I just tidied up your room a little bit. Make her feel, maybe she's needing that extra attention, or maybe she's just really pushy. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm thinking maybe, because it said something about she rearranges her linen closets and whatever. And so, like, when I hear that stuff, and it's only mentioning a mother-in-law, so there's no father-in-law there, I guess. So, either she's divorced or he's passed away, and kids are grown and gone, and she needs to feel useful and needed. And I think it's just a mother-in-law trait that there's always like some contention there with the in-laws. Maybe not with everybody, but a good majority of people just have in-law issues, whether they're small or huge or whatever. So, and it's usually a son and a mom. It's usually
usually is.
Yeah, it's usually not the other way
But
around.
it sounds to me like she probably is needing, she needs something to do.
Yeah,
She doesn't want to
and
just sit there and be bored. She doesn't want to just read a book. And she probably even thinks she might be thinking she's helping you. I mean, it could be a control thing, that this is my son and you're not folding the towels the way I taught him to, or you're not doing, but maybe it's not that. Maybe she's just trying to find things to do to occupy her time. And sorry, my glasses are talking again. They're dead. But maybe she's just trying to find something to occupy her time. And maybe she's thinking if she rearranges, and maybe in her mind, she's not rearranging. She's just tidying it up. She's cleaning it up. I know every now and then I have to go in my linen closet and go, what the hell has happened in here? You know, because I've gotten in a habit of quick shove them in there and they don't quite fit. So, you know, and maybe just talk to her, you know, maybe just you guys can talk to her or your husband can talk to her, you know, setting those boundaries and then maybe just giving her a few chores to do that are easy for her, that are an area you want maybe she's an organization person. So give her something you want her to organize.
Save up all your laundry when you know she's coming. Just save it up for weeks.
Yeah, and there you go. She's got laundry.
And
to
anytime
do
you
galore.
catch her like in your linen closet or poking through your kitchen cabinets, wanting to move those bowls around or whatever, be like, oh, did you put bleach in those whites? Or I was just trying to like figure out where you were. And you know, like redirect that attention back to the laundry.
Yeah.
You decide what you want her to handle when she comes to visit.
And
then
have something
direct
kind of
that
set
way,
up for her.
because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you might as well embrace it.
She's going to do something. So give her something to do, you know, because then, you know, and I mean, literally to the point, if you needed to be like, I'm redoing this room. So I've got to pack everything up and I'm going to paint it. Like save up doing a big chore, like painting your kitchen until she's there, and have her help you pack everything up out of the cupboards.
Make
so
her
you can,
useful.
So you can, and that's probably what she's looking for. I mean,
I would think so.
If I'm assuming that they've been together for that long and it hasn't been a problem until now, that perhaps the husband passed away, or they could have gotten divorced. And she's needing to still feel useful. I feel like a mother like this, though, probably has lost a spouse. And because she would have been coming for these lengthy times for a long time. And when you have a death, they really need to be with people. So they could find an excuse to stay for a month. Whereas if you have been divorced for a while, and it could be a recent divorce as well, but, you know, just find something for her to do. Give her a task, you know, and try to build that relationship with her, get her input on something, you know, whatever. But there is a way to deal with that without it becoming a problem for your family. You know, she doesn't need, you don't have to get mad at her and have her pack up and get out, but you also have to set those boundaries for you and your house. And especially if she's not honoring your schedule, go with your schedule, whatever it is. If she's still there, just do what your schedule is. If you have plans and you have something to do, and oops, I'm sorry, we didn't buy 3 tickets because we didn't know you were going to be in town at this time. So we're got this concert we're going to. Here's Netflix. Have a good night, you know, like go do what you're going to do. Don't cancel plans because she's still there. Go do what you need to do. And if you don't want her to join you on such thing, don't offer to buy a 3rd ticket because most likely she will want that.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't actually,
yes,
I have been adamant with this with people forever. Be honest. Don't tell someone, hey, would you like to go with me, if you don't actually want them to go with you, because they may answer in the way you didn't want them to.
Right.
They may not understand that you weren't really asking, you were being polite.
Well, yeah,
I don't believe in polite fakeness. Like if you want somebody to go to dinner with you, if I invite somebody over for dinner, it's because I'm actually asking you over for dinner. I'm not politely asking you to come to dinner, hoping that you will be like, no, please don't. You know, I'm saying, hey, come over for dinner, because I mean, hey, come over for dinner. And there are people out there that are like, oh, we should have you over for dinner. And they mean it not.
Yes.
They don't mean a damn part of that. Because I'm the top part. Because I'm so honest. If you say, hey, you should come over for dinner, I'll be like, yeah, when? Wednesday? I'm available on Friday. You know, I will have an answer.
I'm kind of feeling hungry.
I think we recently had that, didn't we? Like I invited them.
Totally. You were like, what? So what do y'all want to, or what do you guys want to cook for dinner again? And Oh, so I asked Logan, and he's like, "Tonight?"
I'm
So I
hungry.
was like, "What?
Yeah. She
I'm
said,
hungry now."
she said, Logan said, I'm hungry now. And we were like, okay, come on over. And
That
they
was
were
so
laughing
funny.
because Logan's like, I was kidding. Like, you
Yeah,
didn't
like-
have, you didn't, you, hey, he was already on his way home. I just said, hey, stop and buy pizza. I don't remember what we were going to do, some leftovers
Yeah.
that we had. And I called him instead and I said, forget the leftovers, stop and get pizza because Logan and Kimberly are coming for dinner.
That
And he was
funny.
like, oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be open to change. But
Yeah.
I don't believe in being a fake person. If you're going to invite somebody over for dinner, mean it or don't invite them. You know, that's my
yeah,
opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
So now the other part of this is in our current status of the economies. And I thought this would be a good topic because the media keeps using this all the time as why Trump is failing right now. But what about the egg prices? The egg prices haven't gone down yet. Well, because he hasn't hatched enough eggs yet. You know, chicks, whatever.
That's
So
funny.
everything is not going to go down the minute he got into the White House. You have to give it a little bit of time. But there are those people who I've been seeing on the internet saying, I'm going to go and get chickens so that I can save money because of the price of eggs at the grocery store. And yes, egg prices are very high. We just recently bought an 18 pack of eggs about 2 weeks ago or so, and they were $10 for an 18 pack of eggs. Now, I currently don't pay anything
Wow.
for eggs because I have a dealer. So I just go to my dealer's house and I'd be like, hey, hook a girl up. And I get me some eggs. And then I'm like, look, I'm like rich right now because I have a whole basket of eggs. What is your thoughts though when you
Oh,
hear someone
funny.
say, forget about the part that you already have eggs and you have chickens. What is your thoughts and your feelings when you hear people say, I'm gonna go like let me put it a different way. If I hear someone say I'm getting married, so I'm going to start a wedding business, that seems a little silly. You know, like,
Or in my professional industry, what I get hear or see a lot is, well, like if I have an ad out that I'm hiring for somebody, and then I'll get people that are like, what can you tell me about your experience working with animals? And they're like, well, I owned a dog and I used to bathe it like on Saturday because that was my chore. And I really love dogs. And then they're like, I'm going to be a dog groomer. But yeah, so with the chicken thing, when I hear people talking about getting chickens because of the price of eggs, like I really would love people to seriously sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and like do some research and do some chicken math, because chicken math doesn't only apply to how many chicks can hatch out of the 6 that you bought, but it also applies to the cost of an investment. You're making a huge investment to save $4 on a carton of eggs, which they're not always going to be $8 or $10 a carton. And if people really paid attention, because I do, I guess, maybe because we have chickens, but when this happened before and everybody was freaked out over eggs, and the egg shelves were bare all the time. It was bare. And then like when that wasn't the topic du jour, all of a sudden, like every time you went to the store, there's an overabundance of eggs.
mm-hmm.
So my point in that is, and it's the same thing too here when we're going to have inclement weather, everybody runs to the store. They wipe out the bread. They wipe out the milk. And it's
So
like,
go get a cow
and
and
you might as
flour.
well do that. I mean, yeah. So like, but it's the panic thing. Like, it's just, so you're gonna go and like just jump both feet in and have no clue. And you don't just go to Tractor Supply and come home with a box of chicks and throw them out in your yard and hope for an egg in the next couple weeks, because that's just not how it goes. And
Well,
before you even get an egg off of a chicken, you probably have a couple $100 invested into that chicken.
right.
Just that one chicken. So if you have lots of chickens, now once your flock is set, the maintenance for it. So I mean, we spend roughly about $500 a month between food and bedding and treats, because they have to have treats.
Yeah, well, when they're good little hens,
But
they need to have
it's like,
treats.
sit.
Sit, good girl.
Sunflower seed.
Well, like you're talking about, though, the cost of it is important to look at, because like Steve and I are getting chickens now. We brought it more to the forefront because of egg prices is what's putting us into the let's go ahead and do it. But we've been talking about doing it and have wanted to do it for a very long time. But my reasons for it is because I want non-hormoned injected chicken eggs. I want fresh, healthy chicken eggs that I know don't have any of the antibiotics, GMOs,
nothing.
hormones,
Nothing.
steroids. Because I've seen some of these chickens they show, and I'm like, holy crap, that is not a chicken. That's
in like 5 weeks.
Yeah, like they look like a 2-year-old chicken in like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that brought it to the forefront that we wanted to do this, but we have been talking about this for a very long time. It was actually one of the deals I made with Steve moving out here. As I said, I will move out there, but I get chickens, because I want to live in the country. We both wanted to live in the country, and I'm like, I want chickens. So we've been here for almost 3 years, and I still don't have chickens. So it's kind of rude and disrespectful. I also said I wanted a cow. I also said I wanted goats. And I have since learned, one, you told me you don't want goats, and she told me some reasons why you don't want goats. And then I did do my due diligence, and I went and found a YouTuber, the reasons why you really don't want goats. And if you think about all those aspects, and then afterwards you really think you have the energy, the time, and the capability and the supplies you need to actually keep goats happy, then go ahead and by all means get goats. But the fainting goats, what did you say about fainting goats? They were like a paperweight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like
they're
serve
a lawn
no
ornament.
purpose. Yeah, they're a lawn ornament. Exactly.
That doesn't keep your lawn.
No,
because
they don't. Nigerian dwarf goats, they don't eat your grass down. There's only certain breeds that'll do that, and same
she
with
was
like
saying,
chickens. There's certain breeds that are heavy, great layers. And there's other breeds that you might only get 2 or 3 eggs a week from.
Right.
So you need to look into that too, and not go by like, oh, it's so pretty. It's like, if you want some eggs, you're probably going to get the ugliest chickens out there if that's really what you're doing it for.
Well, and like I was looking at the different types of chickens too. Some of the best layers aren't friendly.
No, they're not.
Like you were saying,
the
leghorns and the Rhode Island Reds. You have them for laying.
That's it.
You don't have them to pet and hang out with you.
No.
They don't snuggle.
No.
They're not going to come up, and I mean, maybe they will if you got them as as an egg.
Not the leghorns.
No, not even if they.
We tried.
Not even the imprinting. Huh?
No.
They're like, I don't like my mama either.
I don't. Yeah. they're like little crack chickens. They're just like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." Like they're always so like, oh my God. And other
Do
chickens are
that one
so
more
like,
time. I like that. They're like what?
they're like, like if they could go cross-eyed, they would. Like they're just
Yeah.
they're just
They're scary.
high-strung, sketchy.
Okay.
But they will give you sometimes 2 eggs a day per chicken. So if
They'll lay.
that's what you want is eggs, buddy, that's what you go for. But if you want a chicken that's semi-social, still gonna lay well,
Those are probably good for the people who want like seriously low maintenance, where they have automatic feeders,
Yeah.
automatic door,
Yes.
automatic waterers,
Yep.
and all they got to do is once a week come out
And
or
collect
once a
eggs.
day come out and collect the eggs,
Yes.
and once a week churn up their
Yeah. their
thing
bedding and stuff, and you're
say
good.
fuck you and fuck you too. Thanks for the food. Thanks for the grub.
Yep.
If that's what you want, then that might be a good way to do it.
Exactly.
But if you want chickens to be a part of your family, you have to think a little bit more on that. And when it comes
Yeah.
to the cost, there are 2 ways you can go about doing it. And this is from my research and investigating with what we're doing currently in today's economy. You can go the cheap route and get a resin shed on like Temu for about $500 and a chicken run for about $200 or $300. Call it a day, and put a couple pieces of wood inside there so they can climb on it. Throw them some stuff for the floor and some feeders and some water, and it could cost you. But look at that price I just said. That's not even buying the chickens.
That's just $1,000 right there.
That was already,
and that's for a simple, basic,
cheap.
Yeah.
So if you want
Which is probably the better way to go, rather than like if you go online and you start researching and looking up chicken houses and chicken coops, it's going to pull up all these little crappy things that you can buy at Rural King and Tractor Supply, and
they
they're not
look really
big.
cool,
They
and
say
they're
you
the
can
size
put 12
of this.
chickens in it, but it's like you can put 12 chicken figurines in it.
You could put 12 chicks in it.
Maybe 12 chicks.
It doesn't mean when they become chickens they will still fit.
And they're expensive. They are
they are extremely
expensive. And that happened after COVID, and everybody decided they wanted to get chickens. The cost of chicken, everything skyrocketed.
Well, it was like the cost. We had a lot of studio equipment from having the radio station before, and so there's a lot of cost into it and a lot of money into it. But when COVID happened and so many people started streaming and stuff, I have equipment I could sell, like, because I'm like, oh, I have extra boards. I could sell that shit because the price is like doubled.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's probably some things in there I probably should sell, like my big teleprompter. I should probably sell that, because like I use this cute little teleprompter now. It hooks to my computer. My other one didn't. I have to have a separate thing for it. But it's much bigger. Like I could put it here and we could both use it, so
Gotcha.
like it is much bigger. But and my boards, I have boards that like can fit like 16, 20 microphones on.
Wow.
So like I don't need that anymore. I'm not using that. I'm not gonna use that. I don't know that I ever would use that again.
Right.
But the prices skyrocketed, and these places, Amazon, Temu, whatever, they do see what people are doing, trends, and they go like, oh, these are crap, but they're buying them, so let's double the price. And they will.
Yes.
And I mean, do your chicken math of your own. And we did a price analysis, buying that cheap thing and that cheap thing, and do this and do that. It's actually technically going to cost us a little bit more. And I'm talking the chicken hen house that we would have, and the run would probably be about 16, 18 feet. And the hen house probably 4 by 6 or something like that. But a little bit more money. We're going to have an 8 by 8 hen house with a entry room, storage, everything else, and a 20-foot run on top of that, all covered with the whole thing for a little bit more than what we would spend on that cheap crap by building it ourselves. Now, granted, okay, I am going to say there are people out there that be like, oh, great, good for you. You can build it yourself. Because what about the cost of tools? Well, I would only suggest that if you have the skills, know-how, and the equipment.
Yes.
Like if you don't have saws and a nail
you
gun,
can't do it.
that's
you
just
can't
retarded.
do it. Yeah, like you can't. So
yeah, the cost is going to 3 times the price if you've got to go
Exactly.
out and buy, because you don't want to do it with a nail and hammer.
No.
You need a nail gun.
Yeah.
You need to have the proper
Or
equipment and
screws,
tool
or
or
like-
screws and a screw gun.
Yeah, like you have
You
to.
need to have the proper tools to do this stuff. If you don't, it's cost prohibitive. Then you need to buy the
already made
the already
prefab
prefab something or other.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you have to be aware that if you're going to buy like one of those coops that you see on there, you're probably going to need 3 of them unless you have 2 chickens. Because that 10 chickens can fit in here probably is more like 1 to 2.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
they're not very big.
They're not.
So you cannot expect I mean, and they don't huddle like, what animal is it that like totally huddles together? Penguins do. Cows actually do.
Yeah, they do when the weather's super bad.
And chickens will, but
when they
chickens like
roost
to
at
roost.
night, they will roost up next to each other where they're like tight.
Yeah, they like to get
because
tight.
of the body heat.
But they do want that space too.
Yeah.
Like when they're milling around,
Yep.
when they're going to when they're milling around, when they're going to lay, when they're going into roost, and they do have a hierarchy too.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I was just watching this. It was so cute and so sad at the same time. So Pablo the donkey, I think it was Pablo. Pablo the donkey has a best friend who's a chicken. And the chicken rides on his back everywhere. And the chicken has frostbite on its feet. And in the comments, the people, because there was snow on the ground, and the donkey was walking around, the chicken was on its back. And you could see they're like best of buddies. It's very cute. And then you hear what she says is that, you know, or the words that come on, you know, because the chicken got frostbite. Well, then you go to the comments with your popcorn and you find out all the Karens in there.
You're such an animal abuser.
How did your chicken how did it happen to be in the snow for that long? Well, and she did come in and say what the reason was. You know, what the reason was is she was being, and what had happened is the chicken was being bullied by the other chickens, and the donkey came in and rescued it. Saved it from the other, because it was being attacked by the other chickens. And the donkey came in and, like, I don't know, he used him as bowling pins. Yeah, he came in. Whoa, stop. You know, what he come in there like a bowling ball, and he just ran them all over.
Started kicking everybody.
Now I've seen that one too with the chicken and the horse kick. Have you seen that one? He kicks the chicken, and then the chicken goes flying into a bag of flour, and then turned on a plate. And I was like, and the guy watching is like, wow, that escalated quickly. But anyway, he became friends with this donkey because he saved him. So they became best of buddies. And then
so now he goes riding the donkey.
So he rides the donkey everywhere.
Chicken pen, like, what's up, bitches?
Yeah.
Now
Fuck with
what?
me again.
Now what?
Speak it with your chest. He's like, how do you like me now? That chicken's like got the boom box, and he's got the song from Toby Keith going, how do you like me now? Yeah. I can just picture that chicken all the way now.
That's so funny.
But the reason he got frostbite was for that reason. When roosting, the other chickens were bullying him and attacking and fighting her, and they weren't letting her on the roost. So the floor was cold, and it got frostbite on its feet because they have to. It's one of the things that I've been watching lots of videos on how to deal with chicken coops and how to put them together. And like the ones that are like, don't have a metal bar because they get hot they
Or
talk more about the cold. But they get hot also.
Yes.
But if your chickens wrap their feet around to hold on like this, the only thing they're going to be able to keep warm with because they fluff their feathers around their feet. So the only thing that would be warm is the top of their feet, but the bottoms of their toes, which are toes, would end up getting
Still
frostbite or
cold.
get too cold.
They do.
So you have to think about how you make something. So there's a lot more to it than I'm going down to Tractor Supply today and getting
chicks in a bag of feed.
Chicks in a bag of feed. Will you grab that brooder thing behind you so we can show that too? So this like right here is, it looks like a little puppy playpen or a little baby playpen or something like that. But this is what we have that's going to be our brooding box. And it's not a box, as you can see, it's cloth, but the chickens will go inside there. And it's enough for probably, 12. Yeah, there you go. 12 or 15 chickens. And so you can fold it up, you can wash it out. And we have a heat plate to go on inside of it. And the heat plate, raises up as they get bigger so they can go underneath of it. We've gotten a lot of advice from Kimberly so that we know not to get the heat lamp because they could get too hot. You want them to only have the heat where they want to go when they want it. They will huddle under it when they want the heat. I also bought what I didn't tell you I bought. And I haven't pulled it out yet. Maybe it's as microscopic as this did come. I will tell you, don't be what's that one commercial out there? Don't be like John. Don't be like Tori and buy the kit, because we found out that the little feeders and the little water thing really were more like for a dollhouse. And now they're going to be great for Kimberly's new chickens because she's getting little tiny chickens. They're
hatching right now. One's hatched already.
One hatched last night. Or today
at noon, and then there's 2 others that are piping.
They might start to be hatched when you get home. Or
it's usually like a 24-hour process.
Once they
poke through the shell.
Oh, okay.
So
by tomorrow you'll have another
I'll have
one
at
or
least 2 more.
Yeah. How cute is that? Are you videotaping?
This big.
You should.
No.
You should.
I took some pictures, but I haven't.
Send
taken any
it
video,
to me real quick.
so,
I'll show it.
Let's see.
But there's a lot more to it, and the cost of things. So one of the things I did buy is a miniature, real small. It's about this big, and it has like 3 little bars on it to start training them to roost. So because that was one of the things that on one of the videos I watched, that when they first took them out to their new place, they had no idea what roosting is, because for the like when I get my little baby chicks, they're going to be here in the basement. You might be hearing when they get here, but they really have to stay indoors in this brooder for about, what'd you say, 4 months?
4 months, yeah.
And then it might take another 1-2 months
you
before
could
you'll
probably
start
put them
getting
outside
chickens.
sooner than that, though, because
in the sun
of the
when
time
it's
of
not.
year
Yeah,
it is.
right.
I mean, if you were to go get chickens this weekend, let's say, in 3 months, it'll be the 1st of June.
Right.
It's going to be 197 degrees
Right. So
already.
they'd be
so you'd be all right.
So at nighttime, though, I would still be bringing them in at that point. No?
Once they're fully feathered, even if they're still young, once all their down is gone and they're fully feathered and they have a way to get out of the breeze, that's what will hurt a chicken more than anything is wind.
Okay.
So the temperature, like when we had temperatures a couple weeks ago where it was 0 and below 0 with the wind chill, that is like deadly weather for our chickens here because they're
Now,
not used to that.
where did your chicken?
But
Did they stay mostly in the hen house?
we
that
put
whole
them
time?
in that we locked everybody in the barn,
Okay.
closed the doors. They were locked in
You're
there
stuck.
with heat, and like they were good though. But chickens here aren't acclimated. Like up north, people that have chickens, their chickens are out all winter. They go out of the coop or go out of the hen house every morning and go out in the snow. And if they don't want to, they go back inside, but they give them access. But those chickens are allowed to acclimate. See, here we get it's 75 one day, and then the next day we're having snow and ice, and then it stays
Yeah.
like that for 4 days, and then
Yeah.
it warms back up, and then so it's so inconsistent that they don't get time to acclimate or have a chance to acclimate. So we have to do different things to keep them safe. But wind is one of the biggest threats to a chicken. If they get wet and it's breezy and it's not warm. If they're outside and it's raining in the summertime and then the wind picks up, they're fine because the temperature's warm. But if it's
Right,
cold, they get wet and it's windy.
Right.
That's no good. So
Well, and how many chickens do you have currently? Not counting the ones that are working
so
on
I'm
hatching.
I did a head count yesterday and there was 36.
Did they count off?
But
One,
yeah, it's
two.
like-
Do they chirp off?
it
I
is
don't know
so
what a chicken sounds like.
hard.
Bop, bop.
They make all kinds of crazy noises.
Well, I mean, if
like,
they're counting their numbers, did they go one and two goes?
But I think it was 36, and that's including like the little ones that I have, the little fancy chickens, which they don't really count for anything,
But they're cute.
They're cute. Pepe though, he's my house bird. He lives inside in a cage, and we let
Pepe, what kind
Pepe.
of is he?
He's a Sarama.
Is his?
So he's the little.
So he's a little Sarama rooster, and he lives inside. Yeah, you talk about him all the time.
He lives in the grooming salon, so all day long he keeps the dogs entertained, and he'll cock-a-doodle-doo like right out, just random. And
Pepe the grooming rooster. That's funny. That's cute.
I gotta send you a picture. I didn't show him to you when you guys came over either, but
yeah, you gotta
I'll have to
send me
him
some pictures
or send.
But the cost, people have to think about the cost and the design. There are so many things on YouTube where you can get ideas from. Carolina Coops has some really great ideas. If you have the money, I mean, go buy one of their $5,000 coops.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I would bet you that their cheapest one, most of them have a run too, but I would bet donuts to dollars that their cheapest one is probably $5,000.
Oh yeah.
But if you've got that kind of money, you're not.
Yeah, by all means.
And I am.
You
can
could probably afford to go buy friggin' eggs.
I was just gonna say that. Like if you can afford a Carolina coop,
$5,000 on a chicken coop,
then you're not worried about the
hurting.
price of eggs.
No.
That's ridiculous to say. I'm gonna start having chickens now. If you're gonna do it I have 3 reasons I'm doing it. One, yes, cost of eggs overall long term. That is really number 3. But the first one is I want healthier foods, and I want foods with less GMOs and all this other crap in them. So not getting them in some mass production takes away that stuff. It's organic, it's natural, it's real. 2 is I want to get in better shape. I want to exercise more. I want to do more. And I don't do well. I'm not an exerciser. Like I'm not going to get a treadmill and walk in front of the TV or out in the whatever. I'm just not going to do that.
So I can't bring over my calisthenics VHS tape and we can work out together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh, Well, in that case, totally.
When's the last time you watched a VHS? Come on.
Never. Well, I can't say
VHS
never,
tape.
but it's been a
The
very long
80s.
time ago.
No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
No, but I'm the same.
I don't think I have a leotard for that. Or maybe I
don't know.
do.
Headband. And
I got leg warmers. But that is.
but it keeps you active.
But that's another reason. Like I'm gonna have to go out and tend to the chickens
Mhm.
so that and I do much better when I have something that's living that I have to. I'm responsible for. They're counting on me to eat. They're counting on me to feed me,
Mhm.
give me warmth, give me shelter, give me food, give me water. They're
Yeah.
counting on me to do those things. And I have 2 rabbits. They live downstairs. The downstairs is going to
It's
be a
gonna
zoo. Wait till I get my Highland cow. He's going to live down here too. I'm telling you, Steve.
Oh my gosh.
I'm-
Basement homesteading 101.
First, get a house with a basement. That's the first thing. And instead of making, when you finish the basement, make sure one room has hay. Don't worry about the carpet or putting in flooring. The hay can go right on top of the concrete.
You think your shit's bougie? My cow can walk upstairs, yo.
My cow knocks on the door. I mean, I do have
Basement
access for the cow to go
homesteading.
outside.
Yeah,
I
you
am
do.
totally going to start that. Basement homesteading 101. Get your basement homesteading gear right here. I have a closet right over there. I could put some green lights in
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
start growing my corn.
you could.
Grow basement corn. Well,
Shit.
I mean, this basement is really, really big. So if we have another atomic blast type of thing, I can do me some
you could.
blast from the past in this
You
basement.
could. You
I can
could.
grow me some food. I can have me a
could.
homestead, get me some chickens and some cows. Might be a little stinky down here
Yeah,
after a
but
while,
it's
but
all
I
right.
mean, like, I've smelled a fart before.
That's when you need your mother-in-law to come visit and
And rearrange the basement homestead. Tell her, say, hey, Mom, you should come and visit. And when she gets there, you go, so what we're going to do is we're going to take everything out of here and we're going to redo the walls, but they got to look like a barn.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure the walls are brown and they look kind of roughed up like a barn.
Yeah,
And
we're
then-
going for the rustic
Then
look.
see those 3 bales of hay out there. You need to go bring them in and get that hay all on the floor.
Here's your pitchfork. Get to work. Could you imagine? Honey, you would never have an issue with your mother-in-law again. I promise. Whoever you are out there, like you would never have an issue again.
She would never be coming to visit again.
That's right.
She might be trying to get you committed.
Or she'll be like, okay, like I agreed to rearrange your linen closet. Flip it around on you. But
Yeah.
I'm not picking up horse shit. Okay?
Yeah. What's with that crap? Like, why am I having to rearrange and put
Or this used to be a linen closet.
what happened to all the why are there chickens in here? They're roosting. That's their roost.
See, there's all kinds of reasons to get chickens. Shit.
Yeah, forget what we said at the beginning. Fuck that. Fuck that. Now get chickens.
Just for fun.
Just for-
Just for fuck with your family fun.
Yeah, this is. Hey, can you go get me a towel out of the linen closet? Why is there a chicken in your linen closet? Oh, they're roosting.
No,
Don't worry.
No, yeah, no, she's nesting. Don't
She's-
stick your hand in there because she'll peck the fuck out of you. She's broody.
She's
she's
broody. What's broody mean?
She's hatching out babies.
She's getting ready to have some babies, or she's pretending to have some babies. I was watching that part about brooding hens that can't lay, like when they get, or they're just not able to, and you just give them a fake egg to sit on, or give them someone else's egg to sit on.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's not mine.
Yeah. No, they'll sit on, hens will steal eggs from each other to have more under them, and there's breeds that are more broody than not.
That one's mine.
Yeah. Hey, look. So what is it? Black fly larva over there. I'm getting the nest. Bitches getting the nest.
You're my eggs. You're my eggs. And the other one comes back and goes, wait,
where's my? I had 6. There's one.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Is there one in your mouth too?
Well, they make themselves puffy.
They do.
And then they settle down over all of them, and man, it's like amazing. A standard size hen could have 15, 16 eggs under her, and you won't see one.
Well, there was one person I was watching, and they were talking about that, and they're like, they will hide them from you.
Yeah, that too.
He's like, I went and checked. Look under the skirt. No egg. And then all of a sudden there's a chick. And you're like, where did the fucking chick come from? I checked. She didn't have any eggs. And she's been sitting under this one, but she tucked it up under her wing. And every time you check, she saw you coming. She's like, oh. She would I'm going to hold that right here.
That wing up.
And he lifts up the skirt and still no eggs. Okay, we're good. And she's like, motherfucker, I got me an egg under my wing. You're taking my baby away from me. I don't think so.
Yeah, they will. It's crazy. Especially if you're the one that goes in and collects eggs every day.
Yeah.
When
they know you're the one.
You're the kidnapper.
They're like, look, I got the ransom. All right? I got the ransom.
They're over in that nesting box. Leave this one alone.
Yeah. Stop trying to take my eggs. I got the ransom. See, these 6 are mine. These were hers.
But they're yours now.
You can take those. But just leave mine right here. It's okay.
Gosh.
So what about some myths that we can dispel? Because there are some of the myths out there that you absolutely must have a rooster in order to lay eggs. That they won't lay if there is no rooster. So, tell us the true story about that.
So.
Oh, hold on. Before you answer that question, let me read a couple of these things.
Okay.
Logan says he won't be commenting because his phone is dead. Then do you not own a plug? That's what I have to say. And then he said, by the way, after the cow talks, it says, "Morning, y'all." Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to change the thank you. I'm gonna have to change that one. Oops. And then Squirrel says, "You have a timer on the wall kindly behind Kimberly." I know I do, but whatever. He says, "No cow, no goat."
Oh,
you're no fun. I mean, we're trying to have fun with friends when we tell them to go in and check for the linen closet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how fun would it be when you send them into the closet to get something and there's a cow in there? Like, I mean, the games you could play with people, so much fun. Hey, you're staying in my guest room. Don't forget to bed down the cow.
Where they walk in, there's 3 goats standing on the bed. Chewing their cud, looking at you like, what are you doing here?
Hey, what's up?
And then they jump up in the air and come down and headbutt you.
It's all a fun time. How did you sleep? That's the question with the next. How did you sleep? And he said, "No, we will not have livestock down there." And then it was a no. And oh my God,
Like a barn. Look
Look-
like a barn.
look like a barn. Yeah, like we painted to look like a barn. Like it would be so perfect. Like what's wrong with that? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that. I think that sounds perfectly normal.
I know.
Ask my friend Denise. She would agree with me and say it was perfectly normal and perfectly fine, and it would be perfectly okay to do such things. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's
Might be a
perfectly fine.
profitable adventure, you
Well,
know.
we get some,
Basement homesteading. No one's touched on that
No one's
niche market
touched-
yet.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we can take that one to the bank right there. Okay, so tell us now that we have bullshitted about it. What is the true story behind?
So hens will lay eggs regardless if there's a male or a rooster around or not. It's the same as us. Like we pass eggs every month, whether there's a man around or a dog or like it's a biological process. Now they can lay eggs and sit on them and they're never ever going to hatch because they're not fertilized. So, and hens will go broody. Even if there's no rooster around, if there's a pile of eggs and they're of that maturity, they'll sit on them. Nothing's going to happen with them, but yeah, no, they absolutely lay. Now roosters will sing a egg layer song, like the cockadoodle doing.
Egg layer, please lay an egg for
No,
me. Is it like
no,
that?
no, it's more like put your
Anyone
thing down,
listening-
flip it, and reverse it. It's like,
That's more like put them feathers up and get up
No.
I want to see that rooster. He's like, yeah. Come on, baby, let's go in the hen house.
They're out in the open with that. They're like,
well, no, when he sings, like
when he sings,
he's got to use that in his song.
Oh,
like,
true.
Baby, let's go to the hen house.
Oh,
You
true.
know, don't mean he has to. He's like, bitch, right here looks good with me.
It's fine. It's fine.
We don't know. We don't need to go now, please.
So yeah, so they'll lay regardless. It doesn't, you don't need a rooster for your hens to lay eggs.
Yeah. So
because in commercial egg farms,
they're
all shoved in little tiny cages. There's no roosters.
There's no rooster walking up and down
just
checking
like,
on. Excuse me, ladies, are you working? Cock-a-doodle. I don't see you working. Get back to work, ladies.
Exactly, yeah.
Get back to work, ladies. What are you looking at, my
It's not
feathers?
happening.
You looking at my feathers? Don't you wish you could touch my feathers? Get back to work. I wasn't talking to you. Yeah. That is hilarious, actually. But I do think there's a market for the basement homesteading.
I do too.
I mean, think about the outcome of that. You know, when you have a tornado or you have a hurricane or you have, some severe storm going on, you don't have to worry about getting your animals from the yard
That's
into a
right.
safe place. They already live in the basement. I mean, we got 3 rooms down here.
Yeah.
And under the stairs store, I mean.
Oh, that could be a whole other
There's plenty of things in here for the ghost to jump up on.
Yeah.
Like my husband
Lots of
is gonna be
wires
like,
they would eat, though.
Yeah, that would concern me. and say something like, "Hey, what a," I hear him yelling. He's like he's gonna come and say something like, what the fuck is this you're gonna try to start?" No, I'm really
You
not.
can't hang out with Kimberly anymore.
Yeah. You guys are not allowed. You guys are grounded from each other. Um, she brings up ideas that are inappropriate. That is so
Who
wrong.
the fuck does a basement homestead? Y'all. That's who.
Well, you know,
I would if I had a basement, but I don't. You do. It all works out.
you know, I mean, she'll help me get it set up.
Yeah,
She'll help me with the decorating. I mean, like, I mean, we can go find some reclaimed wood to nail up on the
For
walls.
sure, yes.
Like, I mean, there's ways of
There's
making
lots
this
of
happen.
ways.
And there are so many ways of making this happen. And think about the views we would get on our show. Basement
Dude,
Homesteading 101.
that
Open
would
day
be
one,
wild.
7 million views. They're like, what the hell is basement homesteading? Well, we've got chickens in this closet. We've got cows in this room. We've got goats in this room. We've got corn growing under the stairs with the green lights, or whatever they call them, the grow lights.
We have tomato plants just hanging everywhere.
Yeah, we got
and
tomato plants and strawberries, and
like, yeah,
we got
be
vines
great.
growing around the things.
With green beans. And
You know, we got trees over here in the corners. You know, I mean, like,
yes, avocado trees.
we only need enough sustainability. I mean, it's, in all technicality, it's just my husband and I and my mom.
Mhm.
So we don't need, like,
Yeah.
I don't need a whole
No.
farm of corn.
No.
Need a small row of corn, small, you know, potted plants. It can all be potted.
Couple of each type that you're gonna eat. Yeah.
You know,
like,
and there's a door right there to take the dirty hay
Mhm.
out. Use a little wheelbarrow and out it goes, and dump it, and they bring the new in and set it up. And
you can just build stalls down here.
Yeah.
Just little stalls.
I mean, we've already got the wall, the pillars right there
Yes.
for the start of
to
a stall
anchor
there
'em
and a
and-
stall.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Dude,
we've got this figured out already. Like, we can make this happen. See that post right there and that post right there. There's
Yes.
a wall,
Yeah.
a fencing that can go
So,
in between
yep.
them.
Yeah.
You don't need big
Because
stalls.
that's really enough room for a cow.
Yeah. I mean, it
that's being grain fed.
you
and
know, the
grass
only
fed,
thing the
like,
only thing I would be concerned about with the cow living down here is how addicted he's going to get to YouTube, because he's going to be starting to watch TV. Come down, and the cow's there with the remote control going, yeah, I'm looking for some Dan Bongino, but he's not on here anymore. The fuck happened to my Dan Bongino? And he works for the feds now. What's her
Sorry.
name? Bessie. Hey, Bessie, he works for the feds now. He doesn't have a show anymore. Well, fuck! What am I going to watch now? Bessie, watch your mouth. Megyn Kelly's still on. You can still watch Megyn
her.
Kelly. It's okay. I forgot to tell you, my cows have a political preference. You know, I mean, come on.
Of course they do. Have you ever seen a liberal farming? I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
You ever
not.
seen a liberal out in a field fucking like doing anything besides bitching?
Well, I do know this much, that my favorite part about the whole homesteading and the whole farming and the whole liberals and Republicans and the election and all of that is the Amish.
Oh,
The Amish know how to take care of their chickens. I've been watching a few things on how the Amish feed their chickens and how they ferment the grain and how, and, you know, learning some things from them because they spend a lot less money on doing this stuff. But in 100 years, they haven't voted, and they said, fuck this, we're going to vote. That bitch is not taking over my farm, because, you know, I'm sure they thought about, you know, unrealized gains.
Yes.
You know, because they're also not stupid.
Right.
You know, I mean, and unlike some people think, some do have electricity, and some do have, you know, it's not like they're not sitting out there with nothing. You know, some of them drive vehicles, they have trucks, some have farm equipment, some have more hand tools. It depends on the farmers. But you know what they all did? They all had a brain and they all had fingers and hands and feet to where they could walk,
Go to a
run,
polling place
or whatever, and go to a
Yes.
polling place and vote. And they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
we may not want all this other stuff, and we're not going to let TV in. But what I do want to know, and I'm not going to go into whole detail about that. If they don't watch TV, how did they know what was happening? Oh, I know, Scott Pressler.
Oh, yeah,
That's how they knew what was
right.
happening, because we
Yeah.
had people actually go to their farms and physically talk to them one-on-one in person.
And you know what I believe with the Amish? I think it was more of a I think it was more of a religious, or not just, it was more of a religious and spiritual decision, because they followed scripture so closely. And in scripture, hierarchy and covenant, there's hierarchy and there's covenant, and men are always at the lead of the high, like, you know, there's God, and then man, and then woman, and then children, and so there's a hierarchy. And I believe as a culture, like deep down in their spirits, they could not allow that to happen. And I think that they but because they weren't influenced, like, because they don't have television, they don't watch, or they're not on social media, they don't, like, Scott Pressler went around and talked to folks, but they weren't being inundated every single day with everything. So
Right.
they really, like, they got a little bit of information. They talked about it with each other and in their communities. They prayed about it. They, you know, and I think that as a culture, you know, because they have a hierarchy too. I
Yeah.
mean, there's the head Amish, and then the second, and, you know, or however, I don't know how their hierarchy is set up or called, but I believe, like, as a culture, I think it had a lot to do with their spiritual, where they sit spiritually. I do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they
Because
had
they weren't corrupted by media.
no, and
they weren't.
they had enough sense to say, you know, hey, we know excuse me. We know that in that little bit of information that they got, they were able to do enough deductive reasoning that said, hey, we don't want this for us.
Mhm.
You know, this is not something that we want for us and that we need for us. So they had enough sense to say, yeah, we can't do this.
Mhm.
And we're going to go down and vote. And that is, I think it's very telling, because so many people have been like, oh my God, the lies and the this and the that. But the reality is, you think about it, it didn't take them, but probably one major conversation with, and I'm going to say Scott Presley the most, because and I've met him. He's a great guy. But like, he probably didn't have to go back to the same people multiple times.
Right.
They had
right.
enough common sense to listen to what he had to say. He probably shared some actual documentation, like, this is what she wants to do. This is what Donald Trump wants to do. And, you know, think for yourselves. And they did. They had leadership meetings amongst the
Mhm.
different Amish communities, and they decided as a collective, we're going to go and stand up for ourselves. So I think that's a huge thing to say, that, you know, these people are like, we're not going to just let this poor behavior infiltrate our community. Like,
Mhm.
we don't want this in our community, so we're not going to let this happen in our community. And I think that's really important, that we as a collective as well don't go like, okay, we're going to let this person rule us. And they didn't want that. So they stood
Mhm.
up for it. And we stood up for it. And hence the reason we had a president today who was able to say, I'm not playing. I'm not playing your game, and I'm not doing this song and dance you guys want to do. Anyway, our time is up. So I want to say
Okay.
thank you so much. I appreciate you having your time with us tonight. And we will see you tomorrow. Great night. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow.
Thank you for watching Girl Talks live broadcast, which airs weekdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to send in your Dear Margaret questions. Then join us for our opinion-based answers. We love having you. Thanks for taking the time to be with us tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.